Sub degenerates. It's your boy Jay back again to tell Hollywood exactly where it can shove it. So please load your guns cause shit's about to get real. Throughout my life, I've had to endure some pain, but however, nothing comes close to the pain I've endured seeing the downfall of movie franchises like Marvel and Star Wars. And that brings me into the not so anticipated Mandalorian and Grogu movie. To put it simply, I have zero hope for this movie. None, not even a little. I have less hope for this movie than for George R. Martin finishing The Winds of Winter. After everything we've seen, I'm sitting here wondering why the hell we waited 7 damn years for this. 7 years, friends. 7 long, painful years since season 2 ended with Luke Skywalker aura farming like a boss, and we all lost our minds thinking, finally, a real Star Wars movie is coming. And instead of Disney finally seizing the opportunity, after seeing all this hype, they said, nah, let's just film season 4 of the show and instead charge your theater prices for it. And please do not get me wrong, I say this as someone who loved the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. They were legit fire. Actual grade Star Wars. However, season 3 was a flaming dumpster fire, wrapped in a participation trophy, and now they're like, you know what this needs? Bigger screen? Same exact story. Come on, man. This sounds like...
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
And this all comes down to the main agent in all this, and that is Kathleen Kennedy, the genius who steered this ship straight into the iceberg. Let's talk about her for a second because the irony in her career is actually hilarious. Back in the day, this woman was a legend, one of the greatest producers Hollywood has ever seen. She co-founded Amblin Entertainment with Steven Spielberg. She produced E.T., the entire Back to the Future trilogy, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Sixth Sense, Twister, The Color Purple, and the list goes on forever. Everything she touched turned to gold. Spielberg trusted her with his biggest swings and she delivered. Then George Lucas hands her the keys to Star Wars in 2012 and boom, just like that, the golden touch turned into whatever the opposite of Midas is. The everything I touch turns into mid or straight up garbage touch. Look at her track record since she took over. The sequel trilogy was a complete disaster. Solo didn't even gross its budget, ending up being one of the biggest Disney disasters at the box office. The Acolyte was so bad they canceled it after 1 season and pretended it never existed. But it should also be noted that the mouthpiece that goes by the name of Leslie Headland is also to blame for this abomination. And many of the other Disney Plus shows like Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka were boring filler or straight up hated. The whole point is Kathleen Kennedy has destroyed more Star Wars in 12 years than the Empire managed to blow up in the entire original trilogy, while pushing her wonderful, inspiring feminist agenda so hard that actual storytelling became optional. Now here we are in 2026, still waiting for a movie that feels like it was written by someone who watched the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and said, yeah, just do that again, but bigger. In addition to that, the trailers have been comedy gold in the worst way. The first trailer was an instant disaster. The Super Bowl spot was nothing short of an abomination, and the latest trailer was mediocre at best. Grogu is there doing nothing more than the cute head tilt. Mando walks around like he forgot his personality at home, and the plot seems exactly like what we've already seen for 3 seasons in The Mandalorian. We waited 7 years for a movie about stuff we already binge-watched on Disney+. 7 years of anticipation for a theatrical version of Mando and Baby Yoda do side quests again. Fucking hell, I could not think of a more brilliant idea. They simply said to themselves, we have no new ideas, so let's just milk the same cow until it's dry. Well done, Kathleen. And the funniest part, or the saddest, depending on how much Star Wars soul you have left in you, is that by Star Wars standards, this thing is gonna bomb at the box office. Mark my words, this movie cost around $170 million to produce, and that is excluding marketing costs. Which means that this movie would have to gross at least $500 million at the box office in order to break even. If it even does okay on opening weekend, it'll only be because Grogu is cute and the kids drag their parents to spend a fortune on them in the theater. Cause fuck me, you now need to sell a kidney to afford going to the theaters, especially for a family. But don't worry, by the second weekend, it'll be bleeding out faster than a stormtrooper who actually hit his target for the first time. And when that happens, Kathleen Kennedy will still be collecting her fat paycheck while the franchise slowly dies. Oh, wait, didn't she leave Lucasfilm? Yes, but unfortunately, she'll still be collecting her fat paycheck and a percentage of the box office sales for her participation in the production of this atrocity. So, to finish my point, there is not a single thing that seems promising about this movie. We thought Star Wars will be able to heal in some way, shape, or form by concentrating on theatrical, but it seems like they're taking the opportunity to destroy it even more. Thank you, my beautiful degenerates, for tuning in to watch me slowly lose my faith in humanity and Star Wars at the same time. I really appreciate you, degenerates, sitting here with me while we witness Kathleen Kennedy turn one of the greatest franchises ever into a flaming pile of dog shit. Since this channel is in its very beginning stages, every like, every comment, and every subscribe genuinely helps a ton as we grow. If you're new here, welcome to Film Rant. This is a spot where I yell about movies, TV, Marvel, Star Wars, box office bombs, and all the Hollywood nonsense with zero filter and zero chill. If you're also done with all this Star Wars garbage, smash that like button right now. Drop in the comments how dead your Star Wars soul is right now. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can catch every single rant I drop. Share this with your fellow degenerates who are just as tired as we are. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, degenerates.